You guys know how I said Call of Duty needs this kind of drama, and this is exactly what they need, even further than that, on the eve. This could not be more perfectly timed by Call of Duty themselves on their own website on the eve of the same day. Later today, within hours, we should have the brand new OpTic roster being announced, by the way. On the eve of that, we have a Call of Duty interview with Crimsix, who, by the way, has now fully embraced the villain, vengeance, whatever the heck kind of card he is trying to play. He has now doubled down on that. For all of you guys who saw our previous video about this, he's already taken to Reddit now, alongside a Hecz interview to clarify him and Scump, they're not pals. Alongside that, he complained about the sale of OpTic. Some people out there apparently were paid who he thinks should not have been paid, and he was not one of them. And now, further than that, guys, he has gone full out vengeance mode, and I think in a setting he cannot go back from. We will never look at this OpTic Call of Duty roster, at least a former one, or their legacy in the same way, because him and his former teammates, they're not friends. He has now set the standard, set the sides of what was all of last season, which he refers to, by the way, as the same thing as babysitting. He refers to TJ and especially Dashy, at least those two, and possibly Scump, and actually refers to Black Ops 4 the entire season being like babysitting. It only gets worse, though. Even further, he stated there were two sides to this team. It was a 3v3 in a year of 5v5s out there. That was a stupid COD joke. Let me continue on either way. Crimsix did state it was him, alongside Karma, Coach Teepee, versus the young guns TJ and Dashy and Scump. It was a 3v3 the entire year. He said their ego, their power was actually drawn from the fans out there who only looked at numbers and stats. Power and ego that never should have been on that side of the team, that did not listen and only down-talked Karma and Crimsix himself. They only down-talked him, and even further, as we still go down the interview, it's just getting started, full interview, link down below for all of you guys. He says he wants to get back at his old team for everything. He wants to put them in the dirt. Just a casual murder comment in a Call of Duty interview. No biggie, Crim. He says their scrims were a joke. He says they hated each other. He says that the two sides, yeah, they were two sides. They could not be further apart from each other. And most importantly, I think there are so many important and great points brought up in this interview, which again, I don't think could be more perfectly timed for OpTic, for the Dallas Empire, for the future Scump, and of course NRG roster, for Call of Duty in general. He states exactly the day, apparently, he was booted from the lineup. We were all very curious about that feud, right? He's obviously confirmed that feud with Scump and TJ and Dashy. We were very curious whether or not it was towards Scump. That's now been confirmed. Even further, he states that on the day of his fiance's birthday, it was Hector Rodriguez, Hecz, giving him a call, kind of nicely trying to nudge him from the roster. They didn't want to work anything through. Hector was trying to maybe reason with him about what they could possibly do. There was nothing to be done, and on the day of his fiance's birthday, he was kicked off the OpTic roster. Within 5 minutes, you know what he does? Classic Hastro, dipping on these OpTic guys, and that is not a jab at Hastro whatsoever. He calls Hastro 5 minutes later, and we all know what comes of all of that. All in one interview, Crimsix has revealed so much information out there, which does make you eye this OpTic roster, which, by the way, I've been talking about for so many months here on the channel, and I love him to death. But this has to make you look at this old OpTic roster with such different eyes. The things we never know about, the things we don't hear about until they're done. OpTic is done. We announced new OpTic later today, but Crimsix has now come clear on this feud between him and Scump, him and TJ, him and Dashy, which, by the way, all of these guys, Crimsix, Karma, Dashy, TJ, Teepee, whoever the heck is going to be onwards and upwards this next year, most of those guys will be playing separated and separated from each other, besides, of course, what we think to be TJ and Dashy. We will find out today and later this week and next week as well who ends up where and who's going to be burying who in what dirt. I cannot imagine any other interviews being better than this one, guys. I hope you all enjoy, as per usual, the breakdown of esports and gaming news here every single day. If there are any stories out there you want me to cover, feel free to drop a comment down below. Thank you all for liking, subscribing. You Call of Duty guys are amazing, and I love talking with you about these kind of topics that just get better and better. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Have a great, safe weekend. I'll see you guys back here sometime soon. Peace.